National League Championship Series. Game 5 between the Houston Astros and the New York Mets, with the series all even at 2-2. Well, the circumstance at Shea Stadium is only slightly brighter than it was yesterday, in that Pete Flynn and his ground crew have gone onto the field now and started the exercise of sweeping the water off the infield tarp and the process of beginning to roll it off. This on direction from the National League president, Chub Feeney. But I think you can put "we hope" in quotes, because the weather system that is causing this disruption is still in the neighborhood. And that red or dark area in the yellow there, that spells thunderstorm. And the general feeling seemed to be amongst the weathermen of this area that we would have a thunderstorm before the weather front cleared out of here. And it's a weather front that is headed for Boston. So we don't know what's going to happen with the American League Championship Series, which is standing by for Game 6. But Tim McCarver, one more day and we might all take root here at Shea Stadium, because I really don't see any bright prospect of being able to play this game, because the threat of rain is just as obvious as ever.
Yeah, it really is. And Chub Feeney came out at 12:50 and told Pete Flynn and his ground crew to brush the water off, and this game should be ready to start within a half hour or so. It's interesting in that the Houston Astros, aided by yesterday's rainout, would be aided again by today's rainout, in that Mike Scott will be given another day's rest, and that's very, very important in the pitching scheme of the Houston Astros. The Mets, on the other hand, with Dwight Gooden scheduled to pitch today, if he has to wait until tomorrow, Mel Stottlemyre and Davey Johnson very concerned that he will be too strong tomorrow to work effectively. So it's more important for the Mets to play today than it is for the Houston Astros.
But Houston has already profited in that the rookie Jim DeShays was scheduled to start today, but instead, with that day off yesterday, Al Lanier's able to bring his veteran Nolan Ryan back.
And whatever the momentum was for Sunday night's victory, the 3-1 win by Mike Scott really dissipated, you might say, with the rain of yesterday. But Nolan Ryan, I think that the Houston Astros would rather have Nolan Ryan on the mound than any type of momentum that they had built up on Sunday night's victory.
But you also have this other problem, and this comes, I think, into the thinking of Chub Feeney and his people, who have to ultimately make this decision. And despite what you might read or hear, network television not making any decisions.
None.
But the point is that you don't want to waste a pitcher, and this is particularly so in the case of Houston, that if you go out here and you play a couple of innings and you get more rain and you got to now call it off and go wait an hour, I think that effectively takes Nolan Ryan right out of the series.
And I think it effectively may take Dwight Gooden, depending on how many innings they work. But if they work up to 4 innings or so, and Dwight Gooden is canceled, well, then he's taken out of the series, but with the possible exception of Game 7. But certainly with Nolan Ryan and all the arm problems that he's had. He was on the DL twice this year, as a matter of fact, for the first 2 times in his career. And I don't think Chub Feeney really wants to start the game with the prospects of rain throughout the game, but his back is really against the wall.
It's a game for the whole family, so let's all forget our worries and have fun at the ball game whenever we can get to one. What do you say? Let's go.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Game 7, Mike Scott. That's the thinking at the present time, whereas the Mets will come back with lefty Bob Ojeda. He will be in the game number 6 and the 7th game for the New York Mets. The starter figures to be Ron Darling.